chill of the autumn wind rustled through the bare branches, creating a haunting symphony of whispers. It was late afternoon when Clara found herself wandering along a narrow path in the woods behind her grandmother's old house. She had not visited in years, yet something tugged her back, urging her to explore the surroundings that once welcomed her as a child. The air felt thick, almost electric, as though the woods themselves were alive. As she ventured deeper, the familiar path twisted and turned, enveloped in a strange fog that crept in like an unwelcome visitor. She could feel the sharp bite of the chill in the air, a stark contrast to the warmth that radiated from her memories. Clara paused, trying to recall the stories her grandmother used to tell, not about the playful days, but about the dark shadows that dwelled just beyond the tree line, lurking in the corners of her grandmother's warning. "Stay away from the woods after sundown," she'd said, her voice low and grave. "They can sense your fear, and they'll feast on it." Shaking off the memories, Clara pressed forward, driven by a mixture of nostalgia and curiosity. The trees loomed overhead like sentinels, their gnarled branches stretching as if to warn her to turn back. She stumbled upon a clearing where sunlight struggled to penetrate the thick canopy above. In the center stood an old swing set, its paint peeling and chains rusted, creaking softly in the wind. It felt out of place, abandoned yet oddly familiar. She squinted at the ground beneath it and noticed a scattering of faded photographs. Curious, she knelt to examine them. They depicted moments frozen in time. A young girl playing on the swings, laughter echoing in the air. A picnic held in the exact clearing, bright smiles surrounding a basket. And then, a solitary image of the girl, eyes wide with fear, staring into the woods. Clara's heart raced, recognizing herself in that girl's face. Her own laughter faded as she felt an unsettling presence behind her, like a breath on the back of her neck. She spun around, but the clearing was empty, save for the whisper of the wind. Clara stood abruptly, her instincts screaming at her to leave. As she turned back towards the path, a low rumble echoed through the trees. Shadows flickered at the edges of her vision, dark shapes darting just out of sight, teasing the corners of her fear. Panic surged within her, heating her veins. She quickened her pace, but the fog thickened, collapsing around her like a suffocating blanket. Every step felt heavier, as though the ground itself wanted to anchor her to this place. Suddenly, a distant voice broke the stillness, ethereal and soft, calling her name. It was a voice she recognized, yet one she should not have. "Clara, come play." A shiver ran down her spine, and she halted. It was her grandmother's voice, but twisted, ethereal, abounding with intent. Clara's heart sank as she recalled how her grandmother had looked in her final years, lost in the delusions of her stories. "Clara, come home." The voice drifted through the trees, seducing her with promises of safety within its familiarity. But beneath the allure, a darkness churned, a conscious, hungry darkness that craved her very essence. Breaking free from the spell, she sprinted into the fog, branches clawing at her as if to drag her back. Yet as she ran, the woods seemed to twist and shift, leading her deeper into their grasp instead of towards safety. The path stretched infinitely ahead, and in the cacophony of rustling leaves, she heard laughter, a chorus of voices joining her grandmother's, weaving in and out of her consciousness. They whispered secrets of the forest, secrets that preyed on twisted fears, on lost souls yearning for a child to join them. With one last burst of adrenaline, Clara finally broke through to the edge of the trees, the sunlight blinding her momentarily. Yet, as she stumbled forward, she found herself standing not in her grandmother's backyard, but back in the clearing. The swing set creaked, and all around her, the voices echoed with laughter and countless shadows getting closer. She blinked, feeling the fog close in. They had waited so long for her return. After all, a feast is best shared with family,